going to show you how to make gingerbread men for your Christmas tree. These gingerbread men are made of felt and they have a candy cane embroidery silk border to make them extra Christmassy. Here's what you'll need to make them. You'll need some stuffing, some felt, a needle and some thread, and some scissors. If you're good at drawing, you can just draw a gingerbread man shape and use that as a pattern, but here's a clever trick for making a pattern. Fold a piece of paper in half and on the crease, draw around the 2p piece. I've got it slightly over halfway, with more of the 2p piece on the paper than off it. Then taking the 5p piece, position that to the right and below. Draw around that where you think the end of the arm should extend to. Move it down and in a little bit towards the crease of the paper and draw around again for the leg. Take a straight edge or a ruler and join the top of the arm to the base of the neck. Add another line for the bottom of the arm and then take a line from the outside of the leg up to the armpit. And from the bottom of the leg to the gingerbread crotch. Cut out the pattern, open it out, and you're ready to draw around it to mark out the felt shapes. You'll need 2 felt shapes for each gingerbread man. Cut out your shapes and sew on a face. I'm using a basic back stitch to sew the mouth and a slightly brighter red thread than I'm going to use to do the edging. I'm going to make this gingerbread man happy and joyful. Switching to a white thread, I'm going to make the eyes using a French knot. Pull the thread through and then hold the needle where it's popped out and wrap the thread around a couple of times. Hold that in place and pull the needle through the wrapping, and this creates a French knot. I finish this stitch off by passing the needle just above where I made that stitch, and that holds the eye firmly. You could also use beads or buttons to make the eyes. Make the other eye just the same way, or make it a one-eyed gingerbread man. Keep that thread attached. I'm going to use the same white thread to do the edging. Sandwich the 2 pieces of felt together and make a stitch at the top of the head. Pass the needle back through the loop and that creates a blanket stitch. And continue this blanket stitch around the edge of the gingerbread man, almost all the way around, but leave about a thumb's width gap so you can stuff him. I'm going to make the loop to hang him from the Christmas tree now, and I'm using this butcher's thread which is already red and white striped. Cut a short length and tie a knot in the bottom. Then set it to one side while you stuff your gingerbread man. Add the stuffing bit by bit. I'm using the end of a crochet hook to make sure I can get it all the way down into the gingerbread man feet and hands. This looks a lot more brutal than it is. See, gingerbread man still smiling. Once you've added just enough stuffing to make him a gingerbread man thickness, take the hanging loop and stuff it through the gingerbread man's face. Poke it into place, and then you can continue with your blanket stitch to hold it firmly in place. To finish off, make a couple of tiny stitches in the top and then pass the needle through the back of the gingerbread man and pull it all the way through. When you snip this end off, you won't be able to see it was there. Magic. Now to candy cane the edges. I'm using a long piece of dark red thread, and I'll secure that in place at the top with a couple of tiny stitches. I'm not going to do a blanket stitch here, I'm going to do a whip stitch. I'll pass the needle underneath the stitches I've made at the top of each blanket stitch and pull it through. Pass the needle under the next stitch and pull it through. It's a really easy stitch and it creates a lovely candy cane effect. Continue whipping your gingerbread man all the way around. When you get to the top, make a couple of tiny stitches to hold it all in place. And as you did with the white thread before, pass it through the back of the gingerbread man and snip it off. You might want to give your gingerbread man a little bit of a squish just to finish him off and make sure all the stuffing's in the right place. And that's him finished and ready to go on your tree. They're really quick to make and it won't be long before you've got a tree full of gingerbread men. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe for more creative making videos.